Under the setting sun, life is like a falling flower petal, where clinging becomes a rope that binds the soul. In a moment of fragile regret, we cling to faded memories, as if wanting to keep a bit of the past's fragrance and color. But is life a stream that never stops flowing, carrying away everything that is inherently impermanent? Clinging, that is when our hands are tired of holding on to a silhouette. But the more we try to hold on, the further the grain of sand in our palms drifts away. We forget that flowers bloom and wither, the wind comes and goes, and so do people's hearts. How can we hold on to a spring forever in the endless chain of 4 seasons? Calm your heart, like a lotus petal that is not stained with mud. Letting go is not losing, but finding. Finding yourself in a serene sky, where no suffering is tied down, no thoughts are imprisoned. With letting go, life will bloom with a sky of flowers. Happiness is not sought far away, but comes from the peace in this very heart. So, my dear, live every minute, every second, but don't waste them clinging to a drifting cloud. Just let go. The sky is clear and blue again, and life is as vast as a dream. Life is like a quiet, fragile, and unpredictable afternoon cloud. People often suffer because their hearts mistakenly think that sadness only comes from loss, but in fact, it is attachment that is the root of sorrow. In every gentle breeze, do clouds ever cling to mountains, like the way our hearts forever cling to things that no longer belong to us? When our hands try to grasp a withered flower, are we hurting ourselves? That fallen petal is not something that is not precious, but we forget the natural law that flowers only live fully in the moment they bloom. We love something, but unintentionally turn it into a burden on our shoulders just because we do not have the courage to let go. Letting go, is it a miracle? Like a boat person who finds land after days of drifting aimlessly. Letting go is opening your heart, letting the flow of love spread naturally, without any worries. The world is impermanent. Everything will come and go like the rising and waning moon, like the waves gently embracing the shore and then receding. But every time you let go, life will teach you a great lesson. Happiness is not something you hold tightly in your hands, but something free in your mind. So let the wind blow away your worries. Let the light of dawn shine, giving your heart back eternal peace. And who knows, when your arms are wide open, a new spring breeze, a pure flower will come to you, so that your heart will forever be a land of peace. Life is not just a gentle river flowing forever. It also has rapids, waves that sweep away many things that we once thought would be eternal. But how many people realize that it is the disappearance that creates the value of existence? When a leaf falls from a branch, is it also a gentle reminder that life is only beautiful when we live fully in reality? Attachment often comes from a love that is too deep, but perhaps we confuse love with possession. Love is not about holding on, but about letting precious things be free in their own laws. Like a cloud in the sky, you will see it most beautifully when you do not try to hold it back, do not seek for it to stay in sight forever. Attachment only makes your hands empty, like a tied bird that cannot fly across the vast sky. Try stopping once, quietly observing your heart. When you let go of something that is deeply engraved in your memory, you do not lose, but are freeing yourself from invisible bonds. Letting go does not make you smaller, but makes you as vast as the wind in the endless spring. For love to spread, we must first let our hearts be at peace. There are things that are most beautiful when they do not belong. Just standing and looking at them is already a great joy. And perhaps, in the vast sky, the most precious thing is that your heart is at peace, no longer burdened by things that cannot be held. Life is most beautiful when we learn to love without being bound, live without regret, let go without heartache. Because it is the freedom of the heart that opens the door to true happiness. When the rice flower bows its head in the harvest season, isn't it telling us a simple yet profound truth? Only when we let go of everything can we be complete, like the rice flower filled with the solid grains of life. In the lesson of heaven and earth, letting go is also maturity. Remember an old sunset. When the sun quietly disappeared behind the horizon, darkness fell but did not bring loss. That was the moment when the sky silently changed, giving way to thousands of stars waking up. If the sunset lasts forever, how can we see the sparkling stars? So, do you see that letting go is inevitable for the new to begin? Clinging often makes us tired forever, like a boatman who refuses to leave the old anchor. You are afraid that you will lose a piece, but you don't know that sometimes that piece no longer belongs to the current picture. If you let go, you will see the river of life flow smoother and clearer. Look at life through the lens of nature. The stream does not retain the old water, but remains clear. The old tree does not regret the yellowed leaf, but still blooms new buds. They do not grieve over loss, because they know that everything is an eternal cycle. Letting go is not giving up love, but taking love to a new level, a liberation for both sides. In this world, nothing belongs to us completely. Like a beggar stopping in the middle of a winter night, you only need a fireplace to warm you for a while, then move on. Live like a traveler, gently walking through life, leaving behind footprints of love, but not letting your heart carry unnecessary baggage. And when you learn to let go, your heart is like a soft reed under the gentle breeze. Do not resist, do not cling, just yield peacefully, and then the wind will take you to where you truly belong. Do you realize that happiness is not about how tightly we hold on, but about how ready we are to let go at the right time? Like a kite, even if the string is stretched high in the sky, it can only fly freely when you loosen the string instead of holding on too tightly. We suffer not because life denies us anything, but because we tie ourselves up in the string called possession. Once, a gentle wind blew a leaf away from the branch. We were sad and regretful, but perhaps the leaf smiled. Because letting go is normal, it is an opportunity for the leaf to continue its journey, to blend into Mother Earth, to nourish other young shoots. Letting go is sometimes like our eyes closing a complete night, to wake up in the morning light. It is not the end, but the beginning. A hand that is let go is not a farewell, but a greeting of freedom. The ancients said, "Life is like an inn. When it's time to leave, don't regret it." Imagine life as a long train journey. Each stop is a joy or a pain. You can't keep a train standing still just because you want to see the beautiful scenery. Everything must pass to continue with new lands. When you cling, you become a stream that stops flowing. But when you let go, you are like a wind blowing in space, gently passing through every path without hesitation. Your heart will gradually become calm, like a clear lake reflecting the sky. At that time, each bell ringing from your soul will resonate, blending with the breath of the earth and sky. Letting go doesn't make you lose anything. On the contrary, it is the way you find yourself, a free, carefree, and loving person in every breath of the present. Happiness is so simple when we understand that life is just moments, like the fleeting smile of a flower petal, like the sound of a bird short in the middle of the morning. However, people's hearts are often mistaken. We think that holding on to that flower petal will keep spring, but the more we hold, the more it fades. The more we hold, the more our hands hurt. I once saw a bird trying to hold on to its old nest that had been swept away by a storm. Only when it dared to leave the nest and fly high into the sky did it realize that the sky was wider than it had ever thought. Letting go is not forgetting, but accepting. Sometimes we need to let the wind carry away the old leaves to make room for new, fresh green buds. Strangely enough, when we hold on to the pain, it becomes a chain around the heart, making each beat heavy. But when we decide to let go, that pain disappears like morning dew meeting the sunlight. The dew never disappears, it just turns into clouds, into rain to continue its endless cycle. And our hearts, when we gently let go of the old, will also be illuminated by the new dawn, like a mountain washing away all turbidity thanks to a stream of compassion. Try standing in front of the ocean once. Which wave comes and goes without leaving? Which foam breaks without leaving a gentle echo? The sea never suffers, because the sea understands clearly. This life is a natural coming and going. No one can hold on to it forever. So why don't people learn that spirit? Be like the moonlight at night, quietly passing through the roofs without leaving a trace. Be like the gentle wind, gently penetrating life, carrying love without asking for anything in return. Only then will you understand true freedom, not dependent, not clinging, but filled with love and peace. One day you will see that letting go not only frees you, but also frees the people you love. Happiness does not lie in what you try to hold on to, but in the peace when you gently let it go. Have you ever wondered why tears are so clear, and why tears sometimes fall more gently than a smile? Tears are a silent release, letting go of all the burdens in the heart. Like a rain that cools the earth and sky, crying is not a sign of weakness, but a way for the soul to wash away its clinging feelings. Life is a symphony full of ups and downs, and sometimes clinging is the out-of-tune note that makes our hearts unable to keep pace. But when we accept what has come and gone, the music of life suddenly becomes complete, the sound resounding completely in every moment. Once a small grain of sand fell into the heart of a clam at the bottom of the sea. It was in pain. It wanted to push that grain of sand away, but it couldn't. And then, with the gentle love of time, it created a precious gem, sparkling like the light of the first day. The same is true of human life. When we know how to accept and let go of all suffering, in that very moment, we also create the brightest light from our hearts. Letting go, after all, is a journey of learning how to love truly. We do not let go to forget, but to let go to understand and to remember in a lighter way. Remember but not heavily, love but not bound. Live like a gentle breeze, caressing all things, but not holding anything back. Like a gentle stream, always flowing softly without trying to hold on. A giant tree once taught me that. The roots of a tree do not cling to the ground to hold on to life for themselves, but because they want the tree to grow tall, to provide shade for the earth and sky. In the timely letting go, there is always the shadow of a love greater than oneself. When you release a flower lantern on the river, you do not expect it to stay in sight. You only pray that it will light up the endless flow. Love is the same. Compassion is the same. Don't hold on. Let everything pass you by, so that you yourself become a part of that sacred flow. One day, you will realize that what you let go is not happiness, but the shadow of attachments that weigh you down. Like a bird meeting the blue sky, freedom in the soul is the greatest gift that letting go gives you. Sometimes people are so busy searching for light in faraway places that they forget that light is the peace in their hearts. The attachments that we carry throughout the journey are the heavy stones that we have to carry, making each step heavy and endless. However, once we learn to let go of those stones, each step will be lighter. Our soul will be as peaceful as the autumn wind blowing through the green rice fields. Just like that, once again, we learn the greatest lesson from the universe, which is that nothing truly belongs to us except ourselves. This life is like a wonderful symphony of sound and silence, of water drops and clouds. So why can't we let go and blend into the music of the universe? So don't let pain take away your joy. Don't let attachment destroy the freedom in your soul. Letting go is not giving up, but the freedom, the greatness of what you have not seen, what you have not understood but have felt. Let yourself become like a star in the vast sky, shining without being bound, beautiful without holding on. You are infinite. Only when you know how to relax your hands can your heart open to receive that vast world. And when you let go, you will see. Everything becomes serene, gentle like waves lapping at the sky and earth, and all suffering will also disappear like the sunlight spreading in the early morning. Letting go is learning to love yourself, to love everything, and to understand that in the end, in this infinite universe, everything is an eternal circle. So, the end of today's story is a message for you. When you let go, you will never have to suffer loss, but will always be welcomed with peace and freedom. Just walk freely, like the water, like the wind, like the moonlight, always patient, always gentle.